Well, welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Thank you for sticking with us. Today, May the 5th, is International Valuation Day, a day being marked globally to highlight the financial benefits of valuation and its importance in making decisions such as property purchases and sales, business expansion, and many more. It's also a day to learn about new valuation standards and technologies. For the message of today's commemoration, we are now being joined by Victor Alonge, the President, Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. Good morning and welcome to the morning show, Mr. Alonge.
Good morning, Adesua, and all the other anchors. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
So, sir, can you tell us about valuation? Why is it important? What's the importance of real estate? And why should more people be looking at today as an important day for them to mark?
Thank you very much. The Valuation Day is actually our own contribution to understanding the importance of valuation globally. It was Nigeria's contribution to the international valuation awareness, which we started about 4 years ago. And if you look at the financial crisis, I think the most recent one was in 2008, the main cause of that was asset mispricing, which is essentially proper valuation of assets, especially the real assets, the subprime crisis, which resulted in property values falling, against the valuation that was provided and upon which lenders actually had advanced money. So this particular asset mispricing is at the root of it is valuation. So the global community has come together to say, look, we need to actually put valuation in its proper position because asset mispricing affects the entire economy and it affects our welfare. So in Nigeria, we have actually, the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers, and our regulator, which is the Estate Surveyors and Valuers Regulation Board of Nigeria. We have been active participants in the global valuation awareness and participation. As a matter of fact, we actually we produced the first national valuation standards, which was actually a domestication of the international valuation standard in Africa. We were the first in Africa, and I think we are still the only one, which was done, I think, in 2018. So our own interest in actually promoting this awareness. It's not that people don't know that valuation is important, but we need to create more awareness, especially looking at the current government's interest in actually ensuring proper pricing of all aspects of our economy. You have seen from petroleum products pricing that government is moving towards market pricing, and you also look at the floating of the naira, which is actually the interest of the government is to enable market to determine the value. The same thing should happen in assets, especially whether it is real estate, whether it's actually financial instrument, or whether it is intellectual or business asset. So our own purpose of actually coming up with this idea and projecting it globally is to ensure that our assets are properly priced, and so that especially the banks that actually advance loans, they can actually have comfort in making sure that their risk analysis and risk consideration is based on proper pricing of assets. So that is the purpose of our coming up with this idea of Valuation Day. Create more awareness, and we're actually reaching out to all the entities, whether government agencies, government ministries, private individuals, and also business community, to ensure that they take into account the importance of valuation in making their decisions.
All right. In the last 4 years that you referenced, how do you think that this advocacy has been accepted or is growing among Nigerians? And then secondly, how useful has your body, your organization been, not just to those who require valuation for assets and land use charge and things like that, but in this era of demolitions here and there, when government sometimes demolish, compensations are paid, but then people complain that the assets are wrongly valued, those, especially those that deserve valuation. Do you play any role at all when things like this happen, either for the victims or for the government?
Thank you very much, Steve. In terms of the last 4 years of advocacy, I can conveniently say that that has actually resulted in some positive development. Government parastatals, government agencies, and even governments are now more aware of the importance of valuation. If you look at the Public Procurement Act, valuation is actually key to disposal of government assets. And we actually, estate surveyors and valuers play a key role in that. And we have continually, played our role in ensuring that government assets that are being sold are properly valued. The other thing you've asked for is the relevance of our body, of our members. The Nigerian Institute of Estate Surveyors and Valuers is a professional body. We call it Valuation Professional Organizations, which comprises of all valuers. The profession was established in 1975 through Decree number 24. And the purpose is actually to ensure that assets are properly priced. And in terms of actually our role, we have been playing, our role adequately. And you did mention compensation, valuation, and then settlement of claims and so on. You see, there is something we need to understand. There is market valuation, and then there is statutory valuation. Now, compensation, acquisition, land acquisition, and compensation are guided by statutory valuation. The law is there. I'm sure you are aware of the 1978 Land Use Act and also some other laws, that actually supports that. So valuation has to be carried out, if it is compensation and valuation, in accordance with the law. And at the moment, it's actually not market determined. It's not market based. And some of the things we have been saying, like in other jurisdictions, whether in Europe or in the US, compensation has to be market, based to be fair and to ensure that there is equity for claimants. But we're still on that. We're not there yet. The government is still not comfortable with that. But we will continue to actually make the case with government. But in terms of our role within the current structure, that is the statutory structure, we have been playing our role, adequately. But the truth of the matter is there are a number of issues that in terms of interprofessional, meddlesomeness, I'm sure you are aware that there has been issues about some other professional bodies trying to advocate that they have a role in some of our, professional territory, so to speak. And we have actually continued to make a case, to say, look, professionals have to stick to their professional, calling, where you are supposed to be, play it properly, because we all have a role to play within the overall economy and ensuring that, Nigerians actually benefit from individual professional training. So as far as we are concerned, we continue to make our case, and I think government is actually improving in recognizing the importance of our role, and we have also continued to make sure that we support government, because primarily, our profession is a public interest profession. In as much as we represent our colleagues, our members, we also have a role to ensure that the public, actually has the benefit of our professional training, because we are trained. There is a lot of public support, public efforts, public support financially in the training of estate surveyors and valuers.
Yes.
So we have that at the back of our mind.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Mr. Alonga, for sharing your knowledge with us this morning. It's time now for a short break on the morning show, and when we return, we will review top stories in today's newspapers. Do stay with us.